It was Wednesday and Ghaz had the day off. He could use the vacation. Yesterday, Dirk Daring had escaped from his holding cell back at the lair, and Boss Chemo had blamed his own incompetence on the gang. Typical. Ghaz thought he might try making waffles for breakfast to take his mind off it. Apparently, today was going to be one of those days. Ghaz had to act fast before the whole shack burned down. Ghaz was in no mood for the reprimand about fire safety from firewoman Leanne. He made a note to put Leanne Rankin on the list. His hovel was saved, but unfortunately not the oven. The insurance was only going to cover half its replacement value. Ghaz wondered if he was really in good hands with his current policy. After breakfast, Ghaz remembered that pricey-looking gem in his pocket and decided to mail it off to be cut. He could really use the money right now, especially after this morning. Damn, that was fast. Although he probably should have saved the cash, Ghaz decided a little therapeutic shopping might help his mood. He bought himself a painting easel, thinking he might need to start painting as a form of stress relief. He also rigged up some plumbing for a shower. Perhaps a little extravagant right now, but at least he could stay clean without having to visit the gym. He just hoped he'd hooked up the water correctly. Looking to blow off steam, Ghaz spent the rest of the day working out. In the middle of the night, Ghaz received a mysterious long-distance phone call. The man claimed to be a relic dealer from Al Simhara and would pay him handsomely for a painting. Ghaz wondered if this had anything to do with the organization's international counterfeiting operations. Good thing he'd bought that easel. Painting really allowed Ghaz to express his emotions on the canvas. He was inspired to depict the island's fiery volcano in a piece he named Hell's Peak. Good enough, he mused. He was ready for his trip. Until his travel agent told him it was going to cost 1,600 simoleons. Egypt would have to wait. Ghaz had work again the next day. His time off hadn't been as much of a break as he would have liked, but perhaps now he could make it through the rest of the week. Or not. A job had gone wrong and, as decoy, Ghaz had to take the fall. He was arrested by island police and would spend the afternoon in the clink. Since his job mainly consisted of standing in the vicinity of a crime and then running away, he hoped the lack of evidence against him would set him free. Ghaz decided to make use of his time and pump some iron. It might also help ensure that he stayed single while in jail. Ghaz was miserable. Things certainly weren't going as he planned. The shadow inside of him grew longer every day. The next day at work, the gang had finally made a successful heist. However, there was so much loot that it was going to take some time to count, and Ghaz was expected to stay late and help. He decided to do so because he figured he could always pocket something when no one was looking. His efforts bore fruit, and although he was dead tired, he had made inroads with the organization. That evening, he'd been introduced to a few other members: Tali Hale, Chemo's wife, Alice Grantham, and the island's resident supervillain, Alana Kahale. Perhaps Boss Chemo wasn't really in charge after all. The next day, Ghaz was surprised to be fully inducted into the organization. Apparently staying late had been a good idea. He had shown enough dedication to be allowed some freelance plundering on the side. As he went to bed that night, Ghaz was unsure of the future. He dreamed of money, jewels, and all the luxuries he no longer had. He thought maybe, if he ever wanted to make it back on top, he was going to need some help.